Unlike Emirates, who pretty much have first class on every one of their planes, Qatar doesn't. They only have real first class cabins on their A380s and 6 of their 64 777s. These are leased from Cathay Pacific though, so they have the Cathay First Class. So it doesn't really count, it's not really Qatar First Class. They do something that is a little bit weird though. They market the business class seats on their regional flights as first class. Think flights under 3 hours within the Middle East. This is much like in the US, where domestic business class isn't really a thing and all of the airlines have domestic first class. I didn't know it when I booked, so I got a bit of a surprise, but I ended up with 2 of these first class flights between Doha and Amman. So let's go and see how much of a difference this first class label makes. I'll give you a hint. It's not much of a difference in the sky, but it's a pretty massive difference on the ground. It's got a restaurant and a dining resort. If you're playing along at home, then you'll remember from the last video that I said that I had an 8 and then a 14-hour layover in Doha on this trip. During that first layover, I wasn't 100% sure if I had access to the first class lounge, so I sort of just headed to the Al Marjan business class lounge first. I wanted to check this one out anyway, and in short, this is one of the nicest business class lounges I've ever been in, and it's probably one of the nicest in the world. Now, I'm not going to go into a ton of details about this lounge because look, we're here for the first class lounge, but there's 2 things that I just want to mention. First thing is, it's absolutely huge. I googled it and it's 10,000 square meters. For reference, the Singapore Airlines T3 lounge that we were in a few videos ago, that's just under 3,000 square meters. And Cathay Pacific's the Pier lounge in Hong Kong is 3,300 square meters. So basically this Qatar lounge is giant. It's 3 times the size of a large lounge. The only real comparison here is Emirates lounges in Dubai. They are also around 10,000 square meters, but they are located above the terminal and they mirror the shape of the airport terminal building. So it just doesn't quite have the same expansive feel that I get from this lounge here in Doha. Pictures and video really don't do it justice. The other thing that I really like about Qatar lounges in general is that they offer and emphasize dining options over having just buffets. So it's like sit down dining with a menu and it's all okay.
On the QR.
That's not like a buffet. They have waiters, you pick and choose your options from a menu. This not only means that the food quality is excellent, it also means portion control. For some strange reason, I seem to forget what a normal human portion size is when I have a buffet in front of me. So I really wasn't planning on eating much, but put me in front of free food. In April of 2023, Qatar opened another business class lounge in the northern side of the airport. It's near the airport's tropical garden, and in keeping with that theme, it's called the Al Marjan The Garden Lounge. Now, I won't bore you with more of the same lounge details. This one is again ridiculously nice, but it did have one rather unique feature that I feel is worth mentioning. It has a gym. At least they advertise it as having a fitness studio, and about half of the Qatar staff that I asked seemed to think that there was an operational gym in this lounge. So, of course, I had to check it out. See, there is a gym. This is where the fun began. Notice how there's nobody at the podium here? This will matter in a second. Okay, changing rooms. Okay, we got potential. This is the strangest gym I've ever been in. I mean, there's some nice treadmills. It'll do. There's even an adjustable bench. It's not set up yet. I mean, I could set it up. I'm pretty handy. Fanciest elliptical I've ever seen before. Holy moly! Look at this thing. It's got chrome on it. Let's run. Beautiful. I don't think anyone's ever used this. All right, I'm gonna get changed. There's changing rooms just out there. Okay, so I have no water. Clearly isn't like open because the bathroom has no soap, the toilet has no toilet paper. There's a fridge in there, but there's nothing in it. So I need to go back out to the main lounge to get some water. I'm gonna look a bit crazy I've just got very short shorts on for no reason. I've just closed my bag. Forgot to put my shoes in there, so they're just gonna live in here for now. Stay safe. See, it's advertised. I'm not just walking around. Oh. This is when I realized that I probably wasn't where I was supposed to be. Remember that podium from earlier? A Qatar staff member was now standing there, and well, the gym wasn't quite open yet. I need my shoes, at the minimum. I kind of want to run as well. I ended up needing to explain to the security guard why I had left one pair of everyday shoes in the changing room of a gym that isn't even open yet. After getting the most confused look in the world, he did finally escort me to the locker and I was able to thankfully get my shoes back. So that mission absolutely failed. I should have just ran when I was going to run. Can I run inside an airport? Maybe? Luggage is secured. I am going to shower. I'm not an animal. The whole first class experience was absurdly nice. This lounge is basically an art gallery and it's easy to forget that you're in an airport. The restaurant served lobster, they have these jacuzzis that you can use, and they even have nap room hotel rooms that you can use for up to 6 hours. I tried one of these on the way back, we'll get to that a bit later in the video. Basically, I was out of my depths. I'm definitely not in the right tax bracket to be hanging out here. I do want to touch on one thing that really stood out. Over in the main hallway, there's this huge mural. I passed by it a few times and every time I found myself just kind of staring at it. It really caught my eye and I just had to know the history. Who painted it? How did it end up here? Keith Haring was an American artist known for his distinctive graffiti-like pop art style. He moved to New York City in 1978 and he gained prominence from doing chalk art on vacant subway advertisement boards. He quickly became a renowned figure in the art world and designed and painted everything from doing posters up to doing humongous grand murals. Speaking of murals, there's one actually 15 minutes away from where I live. It's pretty big, but nowhere near his biggest. This particular one was done in 1984 during Keith Haring's only trip to Australia. His later work often portrayed political and societal themes. He used his iconography to advocate for anti-apartheid movements, anti-drug activism, gay rights, and ultimately AIDS awareness. Haring was openly gay and was diagnosed with HIV in 1987. This developed into AIDS in 1988. And unfortunately, he passed away in 1990 due to complications from the AIDS. That's the very brief explainer of Keith Haring, but let's go back and talk about that mural from the First Class Lounge. This particular piece was painted by Haring during a trip he took to Germany in 1987. It was done in the Dusseldorf offices of BBDO, a global advertising agency, and it lived in their reception area until sometime between 2010 and 2018. I believe the BBDO offices were renovated at one point, and this may have been when the painting was sold to either Qatar Airways or Qatar Museum. If anybody knows any more details about this painting, please let me know in the comments down below. Haring was one of the inaugural 50 American pioneers, trailblazers, and heroes inducted on the US National LGBTQ Wall of Honor. Qatar, as a country, is not exactly known for its LGBTQ rights. This was one of the controversial points around the 2022 FIFA World Cup, and only a few months ago, they arrested Manuel Guerrero Aviña, who was the acting head of product development and service design at Qatar Airways in an alleged grinder sting operation. Now, I'm not going to comment much more on this because whilst we probably all have opinions, I generally believe that when you visit a country, you're obliged to respect their local political, cultural, and religious beliefs. It's just a very interesting artist and painting to have as the centerpiece of your most prestigious lounge. That's enough art history for today. Back to the planes, let's talk about getting Qatar'd. Getting Qatar'd is a term generally thrown around in aviation forums for when you book either Q suites or a lie flat seat and end up getting swapped to a significantly worse plane seat combo. For instance, on this flight from Doha to Amman, I booked and expected to be flying on a 787-8 Dreamliner with Qatar's lie flat 121 reverse herringbone seat. On Flight Radar, it looked like this was the plane we were going to be on right up until I actually went to check in.
So now it's a 320 aircraft.
Okay. I'm not exactly mad, because it's a 3-hour flight, but not the best news I've ever had. This is still quite interesting. This was a very interesting boarding process. The boarding gate is in the lounge and then they bus you straight to the plane. It's just me and one other guy on this bus. It was very luxurious. Again, I'm definitely not in the right tax bracket for this. They also made us wait here until everybody else was on board before we got to board. Kind of felt like royalty or a celebrity. It was kind of crazy. Apart from the minor inconvenience with the whole plane swap, this flight was pretty good. It was just over 3 hours and had a fully catered Qatar dinner service. I had been eating all day in the lounges, so just opted for a drink and some nuts. And 2 desserts, because desserts don't count, right? A couple of things with these seats. These are a very standard short-haul business class seat design. They're in a 2-2 configuration. They've got decent legroom, but they're probably a touch nicer than what you usually get with all of the American Airlines, Qantas, and Virgin Australia. The seat movement, the recline, and footrest are all electronically controlled, and they do have flip-out screens with the whole Qatar in-flight entertainment. Of course, I had to check out the USB port here. I was getting 2.5 watts. Not good at all. I just watched a movie on this flight, played some Tetris, and tried to nap before we landed in Jordan. This is when all the fun with Royal Jordanian started. Go and check out the last video for more details on that. Oh, what? Never seen that before. We're back here in the Royal Jordanian Lounge. It's probably their best work, to be fair. We're flying to Doha tonight. It's a 2.5 hour flight, leaves at 2:30 in the morning. Lands in Doha at 5 a.m. And then I've got a 14-hour layover in Doha. I'm just picking great routes at the moment. Hi again. I got ice cream. It's like a pretty mid Mr. Whippy, but my propensity to eat bad food is strong. Okay, I think boarding's literally about to start any second now. Let's skedaddle. Last time,
Dubai.
coming to Amman, we're supposed to be on a Dreamliner. Last minute swap to an A320. So it's a 2.5 hour flight. I didn't mind that much. It's not Q suites. Everyone in business class was mad though when we were getting on the plane. In this case though, the flight leaves at 2:30 a.m. So I would have been a tad more annoyed. However, if you come with me now, look at that. It's an A350, baby. Woo! It's an A350. So last time I lost out on the lottery. Today we're doing all right. We got flatbeds on an A350. I'm pretty sure it's not Q suites. Not bad. Lie flat seat for a 2.5 hour flight. Let's go board. Okay, I'm not sure if this is just because I'm deliriously tired and it's 3 a.m. or if this is actually quite a spacious toilet. I don't mind the design. It's quite a spacious bench as well. Toilet, like wet wipes for the seat. That's interesting. I've never seen that before. Needle injection disposal. There's a whole lot of stuff going on here that I don't usually see. But apart from that, also we've got toothbrushes and shaving kits, because you don't get an amenity kit, because this is a two-hour flight. There is also, what's that? Infused facial wash and some hand cream. So I think that's pretty standard. I think that's what we saw last time on Qatar. But all around, pretty spacious. I am getting the meal service because I'm dumb. I probably should just sleep, but that is what we're going to try and do in the first class lounge. We'll see if I get in, because apparently they have beds. We'll see. I'm half asleep. Let's go. I go the full meal service, and to be fair, it was rapid. To start, there was the kind of goofy Qatar bread and a deconstructed souvlaki thing. The flavors here were good, but the meat was pretty average looking and a tad chewy. Then I had the salmon main. This one was great. This was all followed by some berries for dessert. All round, it was a good, classically Qatar meal service. Qatar is incredibly consistent with the meals. They've all been great, but I haven't had anything incredible on Qatar, if that sort of makes sense. The consistency has to be appreciated here though. I think I may have gotten an hour of sleep in total, which honestly isn't too bad considering the meal service. Now the seat is pretty good. It's definitely not Q suites, but it's on par with pretty much everyone else's business class seats today. It's the standard reverse herringbone style seat with a good amount of storage and a nicely sized screen. The only real weak point that I noticed was the lack of privacy. The seat generally felt quite exposed to the aisle, and the seat backs aren't that high, so I was able to look across the cabin when seated upright. It's a minor thing, really. USB power was better on this plane, but still not great. only 5 watts. I mention this every time, but the A350 is so damn quiet, you can hear people whispering across the aisle. Please have a nap room for me. Please have a nap. It's very quiet in here. I reckon like 40 people in here. So I've got to wait till 8:30 for my room. 5:50 right now. It's not too bad, I guess. This lounge is magnificent, but the business class lounges are better because they actually have nap pods. Whereas here they've got like the full, basically a hotel room. But there's only, I think, like 18 of them or something. So there's no room where you can just... I mean, I found this seat now. It's not bad, but its big water feature is literally just over there. So you can hear everything. I'm going to put an eye mask on and headphones on. She said to come back at 7:30 for my bedroom. So that's, I guess that's a pro. Who sets an alarm in a public place like this? Alright, it's 7:34. I guess let's go see. Let's go find out what's going on. Okay, this is like not bad actually. Actually, yeah, this is significantly better than I thought it was going to be. That's the bedroom. It's just like a single, like a king single bed maybe. Pretty nice. Just like a full blown, basically a hotel room. We got TV. It's like power plugs everywhere. You got like hanging space, one of those. And she said, you can come in and out. So I can like go eat breakfast and then come back. But could I wear that? Could I just like get around the lounge in a... I mean, it's a question that can be asked. That should be asked. And then there's also a bathroom. Wow. Okay, yeah, this is like just a full-blown bathroom suite. Wow. It doesn't have the rain head shower that they've got in the other shower that I had, but still. Toilet. Got the diptyque, hand lotion, hand wash, got cotton pads, got everything going on here. Shaving stuff. Oh, hair dryer. I guess let's see how the bed is. Oh, I mean, it's a bed. That's all that matters, really. Oh my. Oh well. Good morning. Or good afternoon, maybe. It's currently 1:30. No, 10 past 1. I think we'll try and go to the city now. It's not just I have nothing to declare. I have nothing. I was kind of expecting it to be a hell of a lot warmer. It's definitely not cold, but... This is the Corniche, I think is what it's called. Got the city in the background. Yeah, I'm just going to walk around for a bit, get my steps in. I'm glad I got the stamp in the passport, really. So that's all that matters, right? I'm walking to the Corniche station, which is about 2 kilometers that way. Google Maps says that it'll take 35 minutes. Nah, I'm an athlete. We're going to do this 20, maybe? We'll see. But it's a beautiful spot for a walk anyway. That's another interesting bit of art. They got some interesting art actually going on around here. There's some sort of whale over there. It kind of feels like a theme park ride, honestly. Like the Scooby-Doo ride or something. That was well and truly the quickest and easiest security clearance I've ever done. Just take absolutely nothing with you. It's easy. Dude, they're all saying welcome back. Do they know me that well? Is that how well they keep track of people? Is there nobody in here? It's truly ridiculous. I pretty much just ate this sushi and then boarded my flight to Sri Lanka after what was probably way too much time spent in this first class lounge. I didn't know that was something that I would ever say in my life, but here we are. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Check out flightformula.com. I've got some tools there for getting and using frequent flyer points. Subscribe for many more videos that are coming soon. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.
Wasabi.